Welcome to the channel. I'm Mark Beer, the founder of Mirrored Psychic Inversion Theory, MPIT, a survivor-driven psychodynamic framework that maps how narcissistic abuse leads to symbolic collapse, and more importantly, how we recover from it. Today I'm going to introduce to you one of the most important concepts I've ever discovered, the Organising Gate. It's a universal structure present in every single human being. And once you see how it works, you'll never unsee it. What is the Organising Gate? The Organising Gate is the threshold between the inner and outer worlds of the psyche. It regulates how we process emotional energy, how affect becomes thought, how perception becomes meaning, and how relational experience gets structured inside us. And here's the key. When the gate is open, we're in healthy contact with our inner world. We can feel, we can reflect, and we can relate. But when this gate becomes dysfunctional through trauma, neglect, or abandonment, we begin to lose symbolic access to parts of ourselves. The shadow builds, defenses tighten, and our relationships begin to reflect the fractures we haven't yet repaired. How it forms, development, and neuroscience. From birth, and even in utero, the organising gate is formed through affect regulation. When the caregiver is present, attuned, and safe, the infant's affective states pass through the gate and are metabolized by the caregiver's presence. This becomes the core of the self. But in trauma or absence, the affective state hits the gate and is sealed away. This leads to what MPIT calls the annihilatory stress response, the internal freeze of unbearable emotional pain. Neurobiologically, this is mirrored in the anterior insular cortex, the brain's hub for emotional self awareness. When overstimulated, it collapses symbolic processing, forcing the child into survival mode. The gate doesn't disappear, it just stops working. The gate across attachment styles. When we map the gate across attachment theory, it explains everything. Secure individuals have a gate that remains open. The shadow is integrated. Emotions are metabolized in real time. Avoidant individuals have a narrow gate. It filters out emotional signals. They disconnect from need, from intimacy, from their own inner world. Anxious individuals have a flooded gate, wide open but dysregulated. They feel everything but can't organize it. Disorganized individuals have a fractured gate. The trauma splits the signal. Affect can't stabilize and identity becomes fragmented. What MPIT adds is that these are not fixed traits. They are dynamic reflexes. And the gate can be healed. The gate in narcissistic abuse and collapse. In narcissistic systems, the organizing gate becomes colonized by the gaze of the narcissist. The survivor internalizes their idealized self image as seen through another's fantasy, and the gate, rather than processing emotional truth, begins to process survival. This is how collapse happens. The narcissist can't metabolize their own trauma, so they export it, and the survivor, through love, takes it in. Over time, this leads to what MPIT calls collapse induced psychotic regression, CIPR, where the survivor loses symbolic access to the self and the gate fully inverts. What was meant to protect now becomes a prison. The key to healing is reopening the gate, not through analysis alone, but through safe relational presence, narrative reconstruction, and symbolic reintegration of the shadow. Psychology has had glimpses of this structure. Freud called it the unconscious. Klein saw the paranoid schizoid split. Bowlby showed us the power of attachment. Bion felt the need for containment. Fonagy mapped the reflective function. Van der Kolk showed us trauma in the body, but none of them named a gate. The organising gate is the unifying structure across psychodynamic theory, neuroscience, attachment, and symbolic survival. And it is the single most important tool we have for restoring human connection, especially in the aftermath of narcissistic collapse. If you want to learn more, subscribe because we're just getting started. Peace out. Loads of love.